it's Izzibel. Welcome to my channel. Today I am working on day 18, series 9 sketch for 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Now this sketch here was created by Katie Scott. She is part of the Scrappy Sisters. The sketch calls for 2 photos. I am going to use 3. The prompt created by Adam over at Dottie Belt Flair is to use chevrons or arrows. I'm going to use arrows and mimic pretty much the same areas. I did think about creating my own background. I pulled in this Andy Skinner trademark stencil. I purchased it at peacecraftlove.com. Anna has a YouTube channel and a website where you guys can purchase lots of supplies. I have a link below so you can go check out the online store and also her YouTube channel. So what I thought about doing was using this stencil to create a background. I wanted to do a tone on tone, so since I'm using this beige background paper, I pulled in the shortbread from Close to My Heart ink. Now, I started off doing it, I thought it looked good, but after letting it dry and it sit for a minute, it wasn't dark enough. I did want the tone on tone, but I wanted to still be able to see it. So I bring in some toffee, and rather than creating a really harsh, dark toffee color, I just lightly dab it, and then on a scratch paper, I remove some of the heavy excess ink, and then I go and I just lightly darken the tread marks to give me what I was looking for. Now, I wanted to bring in a border even though the sketch doesn't call for it. And I decided on going with a black border around the tan cardstock and then a gray, only because I was going to incorporate the black and gray as borders, and I kind of wanted to make it a little cohesive as far as it being on the actual layout itself and not just around the pictures. So that is why I double bordered the layout. I do cut the photos into a hexagon, and then all I do is just, like I said, double border them. But instead of going black and then gray like I did on the layout, I'm going to do gray first and then black, just because I think the black pops better on the beige than the gray does. Now, to cut the hexagons, I don't have a hexagon die, and I wasn't too confident about making the Cricut cut my pictures, just because I didn't want to waste ink and having to redo it over and over again if that would be the case. So what I ended up doing is I just got basic printer paper because it's thin. I cut it in the size that I wanted, and then I held up the picture against one of the lights on my desk where I could see through, and then I shifted the hexagon where I wanted to surround the photo, and then I just cut it. I hand cut it around and made hexagons with the pictures. That is how I did it. That was the only way I can think of doing it without having to waste ink and messing up, and it would have been complicated. So this was my easy cop-out. After bordering them, I bring in some yellow cardstock in the shape of a hexagon, and then I'm going to back it with black and make it look like a street sign, and then just place them on the layout where they are in the sketch. Now, I tend to use the Cricut a lot when I'm working on my layouts. A lot of people, they say how soothing fussy cutting is, and me personally, I like piecing things together like a puzzle. So when I go to my Cricut and I have layers that I have to literally piece together, like my titles, and sometimes it can get very finicky, like very, very thin. I personally find it soothing and relaxing, so it doesn't bother me, and I don't know, for some reason when it comes to that, I have more patience than anything. But I'm gonna also get the title cut out with the Cricut. I'm gonna offset it so it'll have a black border, and then the font is gonna be in gray. The title is gonna read Live to Ride, but I'm gonna use the Roman numeral for 2, and then I'm gonna offset instead of it all being gray and black, the Roman numeral is gonna be a yellow and black, and I think that'll tie in the yellow that I have going on the layout. I said that I was going to bring in arrows. I am going to go ahead and bring in the hexagons for the top left-hand corner. I'm going to create 2 arrows that go up there. Now, I did play around with it for a little bit because I wanted to use this black and white pattern paper that I had. I knew I definitely wanted to use it. I was just trying to figure out how it was going to work because I was introducing some more patterns and some more colors. I am trying to play around with some pattern paper. I know a lot of my layouts consist of solid cardstock, and then maybe like one pattern paper, and then the rest would be like different color cardstocks. I really love watching how other scrapbookers work with pattern paper and how they can take different patterns, different colors, and make it look so good on a layout. I am practicing. I'm still practicing, but I'm having a hard time with it. I'm hoping that eventually it'll almost be like second nature to me, to where I can just go in, boom, this cardstock. It doesn't matter what pattern it is, as long as they have the same colors. I don't know, work with it and make it work. Eventually I'll get there. I'm sure I will. I'm only still in my first year of scrapbooking. I wanted to see what I could bring in that would make this layout a little bit more masculine. So I browsed the Cricut design space and came across some gears to use. So all I did was just picked a few, put them in different sizes, and then printed them out on a golden tone paper. And I didn't want it to be too like just gold. So I've seen some YouTubers use like a brown tone ink and sort of distress it to make it look like it's like rusted or older. So that's what I'm going to do. I pulled in the toffee, and I'm just going to drop some of the ink on each gear and make it look like it's a little worn, a little used, a little old, however you want to say it. But once I do that and I get everything adhered, this is pretty much going to be my layout. I did bring in some arrows to just so that I can incorporate some more of that pattern paper. I used it on the top left-hand corner, and then I also used some more on the bottom right-hand corner. And then not only did I bring in like the gears, I did a hole puncher with the same color, and then some of the like really thin circular pieces that came off of creating the gears. I used those as like little pieces like flying off from the title. And I really, really love how this layout came together. I've been sitting on these pictures for a little bit of some time trying to figure out the best way to showcase them in the scrapbook. And this is perfect. I almost forgot. I did use the archival black to ink the edges on the white pattern paper. And then I went back to my Cricut because I felt like this upper left-hand corner was missing something. And it was like a perfect spot for the date. Now, I thought that I would put the date directly in the center of the arrow, the base arrow, but I kind of offset it between the arrow and that bottom hexagon because I think that it looks a lot better. And then I didn't want everything to be so flat. Not only that, but because there are so many layers on this top right-hand corner piece, I had to bring in some fun foam just to offset the pieces that were being, were kind of just floating in air. And so I get that down. And because I do that, I didn't think that it would look good to have everything else flat. So I also pop up the photos in with fun foam. And the title is also popped up with the other hexagon. So every hexagon on this page has some fun foam on it. And then the title has little foam squares just to help that lift a little bit as well. But the arrows and the gears on the page, those are all flat. Those are kind of just like sitting behind the photos. I really did have fun doing this one, and I can't wait to see what else I can create with the 12 more that I have. I can't believe it's taken me so long to get these done, but I'm committed, you guys. I'm gonna do this. I know that 30 Days of Sketches is already in June's best of 30, But I will have these done. Maybe not as soon as I wanted, but I'll have them done. Anyways, as always, in the description box there'll be a link to everybody who played along in this round, or who played along in this series, and also Anna over at Peacecraft Love. You know, go check her out. It's always great to be able to support our small businesses. So I will catch you guys on another day with another layout. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend and stay crafty. Bye.